Peace, family. Having Donald Trump as President of the United States is very dangerous. But I promise you, if this guy is the nominee come election time, I'm going to vote for him myself. If they have not had enough of Donald Trump, if they re-elect, this is the most unelectable candidate I've ever seen in the history of Earth. But if this guy is the nominee come election time, I promise on everything I love, I will vote for Donald Trump myself. I'm a shove Donald Trump right down the throat of this country. Watch this.
It's about 110 degrees in this room. Nice job with the air conditioning, whoever, but...
So, thank you guys for being with us. Vaughn, first of all, take a, okay, and I swear this has nothing to do with it's nothing to do with how much he was sweating last night, but just politically. Give us a temperature of the room. How are they feeling about Trump? How are they feeling about, people say, take a temperature of the room.
Read the room.
Read the room for us. I would take it if they're going to a Trump rally, most of them are going to be rock-ribbed Trump supporters. Is that what you found there? Were there any people that were questioning whether he could actually win in a general election, or are they all in for Donald Trump?
My dry idea worked perfectly fine yesterday to know, but look, when we're looking at that gymnasium yesterday,
good to know.
I think this hits at the point here that Joe, you were just making. For all the attention on the past, I think that what was so striking to me yesterday was I've covered a heck of a lot of these rallies over the last 9 years, and that was the most defiant Donald Trump that I have ever witnessed. For Donald Trump, this is not just about him. To a certain extent, he's powerless as a defendant in the courtroom unless he takes a stand. But what Donald Trump is able to do is mobilize his political operation to use it as a bludgeon against the U.S. justice system. We have seen him do it against the U.S. election system. We have seen him do it against the U.S. media. For now, here in this moment, it is about mobilizing these millions of Americans to initiate a distrust in the courtroom proceedings that are about to take place. I want to let you hear from two of the folks I talked to, because when I stood there in that room and talked with these voters here, for Donald Trump, he told that crowd that his base, the MAGA base, is the most passionate and spirited that it's ever been. And while that MAGA base may have shrunk over the last 3 years, I don't think he's wrong in his assessment about those that still remain. Take a look.
That's Nazi Germany, Hitler. You can't silence your political opponents because you don't agree with them. Joe Biden should be in prison for his bribes.
The vote was stolen. I believe it. In my heart. Remember, they blew up one of the election quarters where they kept all of the Dominion machines. Why'd that blow up?
If Donald Trump were to be found guilty by a jury, where do you see this going?
Civil war. Civil war. Divide it up, because we can't live together, obviously.
Do you see the infectious nature of Donald Trump? These are not children that he's talking to. That's influential, looking for somebody to inspire to be. These are grown adults. So January 6th wasn't enough. Attacking the Capitol building wasn't enough. These people, if Donald Trump is arrested by the court system of this country, are talking about a civil war. Now, when I say black people, we need to have our own independent businesses, industries, and institutions to safeguard and promote and determine our own existence, I'm attacked. I'm attacked. Now, here's this woman sitting up here on national TV saying that the country should be divided. We can't get along. This is what I've been saying for years. And so let's say they do decide to split. What are we going to have to support ourselves? If they got the people, they got the businesses, the industries, the institutions already on their side, what are Negroes going to have? Are we just going to sit back until this tension gets so big that they do separate from us? Then what we're going to be doing? Banging on their door to feed ourselves, to clothe ourselves, offering labor in exchange for goods and services? We'll be slaves all over again. But let's continue with this, because this is still very interesting. Watch this.
Because we can't live together, obviously.
And if he wants me to protect them, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to let him know that I'll do it.
Guys, I think this is about the inherent danger of where Donald Trump takes this from here. Forget about the election. Forget about general election 2024 and whether he can win or not here. If Donald Trump is found guilty by a jury, where does this go from here? I know that we did not foresee an actual physical attack on the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021, and I can't begin to foresee an event of what may metastasize coming out of a guilty conviction or another election loss from Donald Trump. But what I'm increasingly convinced by from conversations like those across this country is that we are increasingly getting closer to an event, whatever that event may be. That event is becoming increasingly closer here because Donald Trump does have millions that may not win him an election, but will be there to defend him to the very end, whatever that end may look like.
So let's open up what he just said. You could not have foreseen that these people was going to attack the Capitol building. Okay, let's give them that. But when you see these grown adults still emotionally tied to Donald Trump, if he loses this election or gets found guilty by these courts, now he's asking what incident could come out from this. If you couldn't predict the Capitol building attack, I want you who's watching this video, put in the comments, what do you think is going to happen to this country if Donald Trump either loses this election or gets found guilty by the courts? And then what do black people have in recourse? If they do whatever you fear they're going to do, what are black people supposed to do in the meantime? But watch this.
There to defend him to the very end, whatever that end may look like.
Joe, this is where Republican leaders are so needed, and they are so not present for the truth, for reality. We need 100 McCain moments, 100 times over. Remember when he said to that member of the audience, "No, you're wrong," when the disparaging comment, the untrue comment was made about Barack Obama.
Right.
This is why this is pervading, because other Republican leaders, members of Congress, Trumpers, people who have either been infected by his lies or know Kevin McCarthy, that he is a liar and has committed crimes against this democracy. You know it to your core, and you play that game. And these people are caught in the middle. These people are infected with lies, and people like that went to the Capitol on January 6th.
But if Kevin
This is ridiculous. Tell me, what Republican leaders are you looking for? Who's going to come up and stand up to Donald Trump? And not only stand up to Donald Trump, but stand up to Donald Trump supporters. If these Republican leaders are afraid of Donald Trump, how are they going to stand up to his supporters? When you have these people that's sitting up here on national TV threatening to do something greater than this attack on the Capitol building, and all they need is the truth. They need some Republican to sit up and tell the truth. When you put political candidates up there that do tell the truth, they don't get the support. Your stupidity is your immunity to the truth. They refuse to accept anything that don't support Donald Trump. And like I say, when election time comes, if this guy is the nominee for the Republican Party, I'm going to vote for him myself. I'm going to shove Donald Trump down the throat of this country. And I'm going to force these Negroes to build for themselves. This is absolutely ridiculous. Republican leaders stand up and tell the truth. All of my lies, left and right. This is ridiculous.